Most people overpay for products like this. Here's why this one is different. If you're looking for a professional-grade 4K PTZ camera that won't break the bank, the Panasonic AW-UE4KG is one of the few that actually delivers without the crazy price tag. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've been using this camera for a few months now, mostly for live streaming and small studio setups, and it's been rock solid. What really stands out is how versatile it is. You get 4K video at 30 frames per second, which is perfect for streaming or recording high-quality content. The ultra-wide 111-degree lens means you can capture a much broader scene than most PTZ cameras in this range, so you don't have to fuss with multiple angles or extra cameras just to get the full shot. One of the biggest perks is the multiple output options. You've got HDMI, LAN, and USB, so whether you're plugging into a switcher, streaming directly to a computer, or using it as a webcam, it's all covered. I've used it with OBS for streaming, and it works like a charm. No lag, no dropped frames, just clean 4K footage. And if you're worried about power, you've got two options: PoE for a clean install or USB for simpler setups. I've used both, and the PoE option is especially nice if you're mounting it somewhere permanent because you only need one cable. The remote control is another feature that saves a ton of time. You can pan, tilt, and zoom from your computer or even a mobile app, which is great if you're running things solo or just don't want to get up every time you need to adjust the shot. I've set this up in a small conference room for hybrid meetings, and being able to control it from my desk without touching the camera itself is a game saver. Plus, the build quality feels premium. It's not flimsy like some cheaper PTZ cameras I've tried, so it holds up well if you're moving it around or setting it up frequently. For live events or presentations, the low-light performance is decent too. It's not a cinema camera, but in well-lit rooms or with a little extra lighting, it holds up really well. I've used it in a few indoor events where the lighting wasn't perfect, and while you'll still want some fill light for the best results, it's way better than what you'd get from a basic webcam or a cheap PTZ. Now, it's not perfect. The biggest downside is the learning curve if you're new to PTZ cameras. The software setup can be a little finicky at first, especially if you're not familiar with network settings or PoE configurations. I spent about an hour troubleshooting my first setup, but once I got it dialed in, it's been smooth sailing. Also, while the 4K is great, if you're streaming at higher frame rates like 60 frames per second, you'll need to drop down to 1080p, which is a bit of a bummer if you're aiming for super smooth motion. All in all, though, this camera punches well above its weight. If you need a reliable, high-quality PTZ camera for streaming, recording, or live events without spending a fortune, the Panasonic AW-UE4KG is a solid choice. The bundle I got included everything I needed to get started, so I didn't have to hunt down extra cables or mounts. If you're on the fence, definitely check out the link below. It's a great value for what you get. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Panasonic AW-UE4KG 4K PTZ Camera HDMI and USB, black, bundle sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like bundle includes an ultra-wide-angle lens with 111 field of view, supports 4K 30p actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Panasonic AW-UE4KG 4K PTZ Camera HDMI and USB, black, bundle usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.